today's build is going to be a Citycore bridge. Now, you might be slightly confused because you might be thinking, but I thought you were making a pastel goth themed island. Well, I am making a pastel goth themed island, but it's also a Citycore pastel goth themed island. I'm kind of doing a combination of two themes here because I feel like it gives me more of an idea of what to do. So right now I am trying to work out the dimensions and proportions for this bridge and just placing things and paths to work out where everything goes. So if it kind of looks like I'm doing random things, I basically am. I'm destroying cliffs to try and make space and all that good stuff. Also, I realized this is actually quite a short video because although it took me a while to do this build, not as long as some of my previous builds on this island, it did take me a while, but I basically cut a lot of it out because a lot of it was kind of repetitive, me constantly placing the same custom designs over and over again because I couldn't work out for the life of me where they were supposed to go. I feel like you understand though, however, because if you've played Animal Crossing, you'll know how difficult it is to actually get things to fit. And obviously, symmetry is not really a thing that we have in this game, but I was trying to make at least the road bit or the bridge kind of symmetrical. I mean, not really. It's not that symmetrical, but I'm just trying to make it look like a road. You know what I mean? I used to have a Citycore island in the past, but I did like one build and then I gave up because one build is so bad. But literally I was so overwhelmed by working out where to put all the road custom designs because you can't just place them wherever you like. It's not the same as having like a natural island and just doing whatever. I feel like Citycore is one of the hardest themes because it has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it's not going to work out. And also, if you see these fences around the bridge, there's like white and green, and you might be thinking, I don't know how that fits the theme. Well, basically, I'm going to change the colour of them later. So they'll be black, but I was just putting them there as like a placeholder to try and work out where I wanted them to go. But obviously, I cut out the process of me getting them customized on Halves Island because you don't want to watch that. That's boring. You just want to watch the actual build. I feel like in the past, when I first started making Animal Crossing speed build videos, I just made them unnecessarily long. Like, nobody wants to watch, like, the most repetitive, boring video ever. Also, I did show this bit where I was making the bridge smaller, and I wanted to show you my process because I did think about making it smaller so that I had more space, but I wanted that custom design either side and I wanted it to be bigger because it looked better. When I made the bridge look too small, it just looked silly. So I decided not to go for that. Also, spoiler alert, I made these rivers a little bit too big. Or a little bit too long, I should say. So I did shorten them at some point. You will see that. But this whole video, this whole build, pretty much was just me trying to work things out. When I go into my builds, I never really have a plan in mind. I have ideas, but I don't really have it like planned out per se. So I don't really know what I'm doing. It's all kind of guesswork. And I feel like that's why it takes me so long. And it doesn't benefit me in any way because then I have to cut out loads of stuff and it's kind of jumpy and a bit annoying. But also I just can't plan it, you know, it just doesn't work out for me. So what you can see now is me putting like little stepping stones, or I was before I started laying down this path. Oh my gosh, this video is actually really jumpy. I was putting down little stepping stones. I feel like I'll do more of them now, right now actually. I decided, so it didn't look so, you know, one-dimensional and boring, I decided to put some stepping stones in the river so that I could place little tiny items on them, and I could put like some black and purple roses and the mum's plush toy, and I just thought they looked good and I thought they looked cute for a pastel goth island. Also, you may have seen June in the background with a thought bubble. And I was happy about this because June is finally moving out of my island. This might have been because in the last video, I screamed at her, pretty much, because she was constantly getting in my way. And I have nothing against this villager, okay? I've got nothing against June, but she just doesn't suit the pastel goth aesthetic of my island. So she has to go. She is seeing what I'm doing to this island, and she's like, I'm sorry, this is not what I signed up for when I moved in. I'm sorry, but I have to go. Also, Gonzo was getting on my nerves. throughout this build because he kept talking to me. Leave me alone. I do not want to speak to you. This makes me sound like such an introvert. And I always want to think that I'm not, but I feel like secretly I am because I just get tired, you know? And Animal Crossing is really proving that to me, which makes me sad, but unfortunately it just is how it is. But right now I'm also working on a little bus stop. Now, I don't know how much of a bus stop this actually looks like, but it's like a waiting area. You can tell it's a waiting area. There's like 2 benches and a clock. I don't know how else to signify that this is like a waiting area. I was thinking about making a train station, but then I realised that if I was to have a train station on my island, I'd have to have a whole railway line going through my island. And I know that you can have like a train station on your island and not necessarily have a railway like throughout your island, but I feel like it just makes sense to. Otherwise, like, what's the point in having it? A bit like with the roads, there wouldn't be much point in just like having one road that didn't really go anywhere. So because I don't plan on doing that, there will be no train station. This island is small. There doesn't need to be a train. There's a bus. Like, I feel like it doesn't need a train. It's only an island, you know? Also, you may have noticed the skeleton next to the bench. I didn't really think when I put it there because it looks kind of gross. It's kind of like the villager waited so long to get the bus that they just didn't exist anymore, which is, yeah, ew, basically. But I was trying to put lots of skeletons everywhere because I was trying to follow the goth aesthetic, you know, and I didn't know how else to do that. So I was trying, okay, I didn't want to just turn this into Pastel Citycore. This is meant to be Pastel Goth Citycore. So I was, you know, like actually trying. And now I'm just decorating a cliff so it looks cute and pretty. It's also kind of foresty. I've got like forest core elements, goth core, like pastel goth, and Citycore as well. So I couldn't stick to one theme. This always happens to me, and now it's just like lots of different themes. But I still like it. I think it looks nice. And once again, at some point you will see me decorating with star fragments. I don't know who I saw decorate with star fragments, but I was inspired. And I just think it adds something to the island and kind of makes it like witchy, you know? I'm trying to fit in with the theme, basically. And I think it looks cute. And I feel like when I save this dream address, it'll be like in early evening. So they'll be like glowing in the dark. Well, not dark, but you know, they'll be glowing and it'll look cute. But anyway, this is the end of the build. I will quickly walk you through the finished build because I am actually very proud of it. So this is the area that we got done today. As you can see, here's the cliff. It looks cute. There's kind of like an element where it's been like chiseled away so that the road could fit in, but it's also natural at the other side. Then here we've got the road with the pastel goth cars. I mean, I couldn't get a pastel tractor, but like, it's close enough, okay? So there's the little bridge with obviously the fence either side. Here we have the zebra crossing, and then here we have the waiting area for the bus stop. And in the middle, as you can see, I've got a different pastel goth design because I thought it kind of gave this build like some more dimension, some more depth, and made it look cute, basically.